Hi, this is Chris, Video Game Dust Sleeves, and you're listening to the VGDS podcast with DanCavDragon,
Hello, everyone.
BonesZ06,
How's it going, guys?
and guest gamers Bandana Gamer,
The one and only.
and EverythingRetro.
Hey yo!
The first segment is Salute or Leave It. The first title is Ghostbusters for the Sega Master System. Dan, would you salute it or leave it?
Yes, since I'm a Master System collector, I definitely have sleeved all my games in my collection, and including this one. So yes, I would sleeve this.
Bones, salute or leave it?
No.
Bandana?
Respect for the property and what it represents, yes, I would sleeve Ghostbusters.
And Everything Retro, salute it or leave it?
You know, I love that old school, like, nostalgic aesthetic of that. I gotta sleeve it.
The next title is Ghostbusters! What a surprise. For the Atari 2600. Bones, salute it or leave it?
No. No. No.
Bandana?
I wouldn't sleeve that one.
Dan?
I don't think this is super common, if I'm mistaken. So I would probably sleeve it just based on that.
No.
And Everything Retro?
Yeah, I love it. I sorry guys, I love it. 100% sleeve it.
Next title is Ghostbusters yet again. What the hell with the Ghostbusters? For the NES. Everything Retro, salute it or leave it?
Nah, I'm out on this one.
Wow. He was on a roll, now he's done. Dan, salute it or leave it?
Yeah, I'm gonna break form too, and probably say no to this one because I have played this and I did not enjoy this game. I don't have this game, and I don't intend to get it.
Bandana, salute it or leave it?
So for that one, I'm gonna say sleeve it once again out of respect. A, respect for the NES, and B, just that logo means so much to me. So I'll say sleeve it.
Notice who I went to last. Bones, salute it or leave it?
I just have the sleeve. Do I have to put the game in the sleeve?
No.
I'll take the sleeve, Bob, for 500.
Nobody said you had.
Sleeve.
Nobody.
Just the sleeve.
Nobody said you had to put the game in it. You can have
Well,
just the
you
sleeve.
know, honestly, I would sleeve that one.
That's a shocker to the guy that threw this out his window and have a car ran over it.
But I gotta kind of go with Bandana on this, because, dude, the emblem is cool, and even though it would be smashed and in pieces, it could still go in the sleeve.
Or you
And
could put another
I have
game.
a copy of it in I wouldn't say it's pristine condition, because I sure as hell didn't care if it was. But I have a copy, so I could sleeve it. I don't really think I'd want to waste the money on such a god-awful game, but I'm going to go with Bandana on this one. We're going to go for one sleeved.
Okay. And the last title is Ghostbusters 2. Dan, salute it or leave it?
I have never played this game, so I probably wouldn't sleeve it because I'm not familiar with it enough with it. But I will say I agree with the guys that the box art and the sleeve for the first game above is impressive. So maybe I might change my mind on that one, just based on the look of the sleeve. But I don't think I would do Ghostbusters 2.
Everything Retro, salute it or leave it?
I'm not gonna change my mind about the last one, unlike other people in this chat. This one, you know, Ghostbusters 2 is my favorite movie. Not really, but I'd still sleeve this one.
So you won't sleeve the first one, but you'll sleeve the second one. Okay.
You know it.
Bandana, salute it or leave it?
Since this is the only one that has Ernie Hudson on the cover, I will definitely have that sleeve. So just to have Ernie Hudson on a dud sleeve.
Bones, salute it or leave it?
Oh my god. Well, I wasn't even thinking about Ernie Hudson, but, you know, I'm going to have to pass on this one.
Wow.
I just did. I picked one. All right. I wasn't gonna take any. But I picked one. I'm being a team player here, okay?
Oh yeah. All right, Bones, team player. All right. I think I got everybody. So to the next segment. Guess that box art. Dan. Any guesses for the first image?
Oh man, no, actually, I'm drawing a blank on that one.
All right. I'll
Yeah.
give you a console, Super Nintendo.
Ooh. That didn't really help me. But I see a cook, and I see looks like a Grim Reaper looking thing on the side there. So I don't know. I don't have any guesses.
Bones, anything?
Pool Patrol. Dude, I don't know, man. That doesn't look familiar to me either. But I don't have that big of a Super Nintendo collection.
Bandana?
Ghostbusters?
Imagine that.
That'd be good.
It would be good, but it's not.
Okay, Blues Brothers. That also has Dan Aykroyd.
No, unfortunately
Super
not.
Nintendo.
Yeah, I got nothing for this one.
Everything retro, you gotta guess.
That dude's got the deadest eyes I've ever seen. So I have no idea. Like he looks like something you'd see in like a Pink Floyd video.
You haven't talked to me in person, so.
I've seen enough of you on YouTube.
Jurassic Park.
You see a dinosaur on there, Bones?
Good.
If you do, let's talk later after the show.
No,
Oh,
I don't
man.
know, man. I'm clueless on this one. It looks like he's wearing like an apron, ready to cut somebody up and eat them, but
All
I
right.
can't think of any game.
Here's your next hint. It's an adventures game, like an adventures of game.
Dr. Franken?
Got it.
Is it really?
Yes, it is.
From downtown.
Okay, I don't know.
He's
where-
on fire.
That's crazy, man. I can't see how that's anything to do with that game.
Yeah, that's a little dude in the background on that box.
Do I own that Super Nintendo, The Adventures of Dr. Franken?
How did
You had
let
me
me tell you something. How the hell did you pull that out of your ass?
Because
Did anybody else?
You said Adventures of, and that game came into my head because I know that name of a game for Adventures. They have.
Did anybody else have a clue that was that title? Besides Bones,
no
obviously.
idea.
Dan, did you know?
No, I don't even after knowing the title, I can't picture this box art in my head. So
All right,
No, I can't either. That's why I'm looking.
Bandana,
it up
did
if
you?
I have it.
I don't even know that game.
okay,
yeah,
so you're out. All right, so Bones just pulled it out of his ass.
Yeah, I'm going through my inventory
Like
right
all
now.
great
There's a
moments on
lot
the
of
show.
games.
I know, right?
Yeah, I'm thinking of an NES game. I swear, though, not a Super Nintendo one.
Yeah.
way to go, Chris.
Okay,
You-
well, I
you
pulled one out of my
stumped us.
ass, guys. Sorry.
Yeah.
All right, so let's go with the next one.
Kudos to Bones' ass.
Hey guys, I do have it. Adventures of Dr. Franken. I do have it.
Okay, so
And I'm looking.
Verify
I'm
it.
looking at it right now.
Verified.
Just because. Okay, yeah. No, I don't remember that box art at all.
Chris, did somebody actually order the sleeve, or you just picked a good?
Nah, I picked that. That was just something I found.
Nice.
It's a good one, man.
All right, so next title.
I think I've got this one.
Yeah, me too. I think so too.
Yeah, this one's a little easier. So,
Is this Super Nintendo as well?
no, this is Nintendo.
I think everything retro should go first.
Go ahead.
He had
Yeah.
the guess.
Yep.
I don't know. I think it's Attack from the Killer Tomatoes.
Yes, sir. You got
That's
it.
what I thought.
Yep. Dan Bones.
First, I was gonna go with Clifford at first, and then you said it was NES.
Clifford.
I'm like, well, I don't know, man. Then it's like, okay, Attack of the Killer Tomatoes would have been my guess too.
Dan, you too?
No, I didn't know this one. I wouldn't have gotten that one. I thought it was either Dr. Mario, with that looks like one of the viruses, or
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, it kind of looks like a virus. I can see that.
or Gotcha, that light gun game with the paint splattering everywhere.
I'm not gonna lie. Now that Bones said that his first thought was
Clifford.
I'm now thinking of like a Guillermo del Toro directed Clifford movie. I just need that in existence.
All right. On to the next segment. Logo Sleeve of the month. This month goes to Everything Retro.
Yay!
Look at that.
Woohoo!
Look how fancy that looks.
I know, right? Man, I wonder who created that.
Yeah,
Darn good
whoever
sleeve
wanted
right
to do
there.
Please check out his YouTube channel, and if you are so inclined, contact me, contact him. He'll get in contact with me, and we'll get you one of these logo sleeves with proceeds going to him. And the next segment is Dan's franchise of the month.
Well, as you can guess, we already covered some of this in the Sleeve or Lever segment, but this month, the franchise I chose was what else but Ghostbusters. This was partly in honor of Bones, because we know he loves this game, but just curious, there are some other games we did not cover in the Sleeve or Leave It segment, so I was just curious to see if anybody actually likes this series, has played any of these games, and what your thoughts are on them. So let's start at the top, and then we'll have about Bandana. What do you think about Ghostbusters, the series, or the franchise?
All right, so are we talking franchise out of the video games or just the video games? Because
You can cover both if you want. You can.
All
You
right.
can. We do talk about movies a lot here, so you can
Yeah.
cover the games and movies.
I mean, Ghostbusters is one of my first loves as a kid. Like, I think my trajectory is Ghostbusters, Ninja Turtles, Power Rangers, wrestling, growing up. So Ghostbusters, huge on my heart. The games were always kind of trying to force myself to like it. Just because it was Ghostbusters and not having a concept that there were bad games when I was a kid. I do appreciate what they did with the 360, PS2, and then they remastered it for all the modern consoles. Just because the game wasn't solid, but it wasn't bad, and it was really nice to just have a new story with the cast. So yeah, I really love that. I really wish we had gotten the cartoon show was called The Real Ghostbusters. I really wish there had been some kind of game to go along with The Real Ghostbusters. But yeah, I love Ghostbusters. The games I wish were a little bit better, but they do hold a special place in my heart.
What do you think about the recent remake with the women, and also are you looking forward to the Afterlife? Is that the name of that movie? The new version of it coming out?
Yeah. So Ghostbusters 2016, I think they ended up calling it Ghostbusters Who You Gonna Call. I didn't mind it. I thought it was a nice little tribute. There were definitely some director decisions that I would have probably not gone with. But I thought that movie received way too much criticism from a lot of different sources because I thought it was mildly okay. It was not the thing I felt that people made it out to be, and I had a good time when I went to see it, and that cast was phenomenal. That was like a perfect casting because it did pay tribute to the Saturday Night Live origins of Ghostbusters. The new one, Afterlife. Now that the second trailer's dropped and there's some comedy to it, and it doesn't look like a Stranger Things knockoff, I'm a little more intrigued. I'm a little more excited to see what Paul Rudd's gonna do. And I mean, I'm gonna be there to see it. So I'm skeptical, but I'm excited to see it, and I'm excited to also tie back into the original series.
Awesome, yeah. All right, let's How about let's throw it over to our other new guest and Everything Retro. What do you think about Ghostbusters, either the movies or the games?
So franchises, the movies wise, man, I'm an '80s kid, so I grew up with Ghostbusters. That was a big influence in my life, especially 1 and 2. Game wise, I unfortunately after Sega Genesis, I never really had a chance to play anything afterwards. I always wanted to, and I always see it, and I'm like, oh, I'll pick it up here and there, and then as we all know, most time you just never pick anything up, which is something I didn't do. So, but the early Ghostbusters games, for me, they're the most nostalgic. I still remember playing them all from the NES to Sega, and I still to this day enjoy playing them. They're not the greatest, but to me they're still amazing. So
Nice. All right, who wants to go next, Chris or Bones?
I'll go. Mine's
Okay.
going to be pretty much short and sweet. Movies, obviously, as everybody else said, they were fantastic. Did not really play much game as far as Ghostbusters is concerned. I played the one for the Wii. That one was okay, but I can't compare it because I never played any other games. So listening to you guys is the way I get to compare it. So that's about it. Bones.
Yeah, let's save the best for last. Bones, what do you think? We kind of know what you think.
Hey, no discriminating on the Ghostbusters on this podcast, folks, okay? We love the Ghostbusters. Now, I'm in agreement with all of you as far as the movies go, that it's great. We grew up with that, so it's got a little special spot there in our hearts for the Ghostbusters. I mean, looking at the picture here, 2600, garbage. NES, garbage. The other NES, not quite as bad, but still garbage. Master System, garbage. Genesis, good one. Definitely fun. It was the first time they did good. They did have a PAL exclusive for the NES that supposedly is better. I did want to pick it up. I have not.
I'm going to have to pick up the Genesis one then.
Yeah, we talked about that once before.
Yeah.
Dan, you picked it up when
Yes.
we talked about it.
Yep.
Didn't play the PS2 one or the Wii. I did buy the 360 one, but I have not played it. I didn't even know there was one for PS4, but I don't really buy too much for modern, so I don't really play much for the games, shall we say. I did my little wonderful spree as a kid and realized that, boy, those games aren't any good. They're not worth playing. They're not fun. And I never really ever went back to them. But the movies, I could sit and watch them pretty much on repeat because, come on, you got Dan Aykroyd, such an all-star cast. The movies are classic. So there, I didn't hate. I do have good things.
No, you
about
just
Ghostbusters.
hurry up and hated quick. That's what you did.
I can't just bash.
You did.
So I hate the game so much that I destroyed a copy of it.
You did a quick
I'm
hate.
not the only one in life that's destroyed a game because it is just ruthlessly shit. I mean, it happens.
I'll close out the segment by saying that I'm not a huge fan of the series, but I did pick up Ghostbusters for the Genesis after Bones gave it a good review, and the price has gone up a little bit since I picked it up, so I'm happy I bought it when I did. But I'll end with one quick question. Anybody have a guess which is the most valuable game in the series? It's pictured here. So which of the which?
I'm
Go ahead.
sorry.
Yeah.
My guess is Genesis.
Any other guesses?
Yeah,
go with the Wii.
I'll go with the Game Boy.
Yeah, I was gonna go with Game Boy as well.
You guys are right. The Game Boy is the most valuable.
Oh.
It's according to price charting, it's $165.
Wow.
For the game.
Dude, yeah, Game
Good
Boy
Lord.
stuff is expensive, man. Like,
Jesus.
it's crazy.
Yeah,
Crazy.
definitely sleeve that game if you haven't.
Yeah, you should pick that one, Chris. For the sleeper load.
Shame,
Leave it, lock it in a safe, make sure it's safe. protected
shameful,
at all times.
shameful plug. Sorry.
All right. That concludes Franchise of the Month.
Okay. All right. Now we're on to the actual introduction podcast here with Everything Retro. You can tell us a little bit about yourself. Do you actually do YouTube? Because not everybody does that comes on here. What you collect, and so on and so forth. Whatever you would like to tell us.
Yeah, man. I'm honored being here. This is my first ever podcast, so I'm super excited about it. So I started collecting. Well, I started collecting as a kid back in the day. My first system was an NES. That's my heart and my soul is the Nintendo, the original NES. But I got out of it, as all young people do. GameStop was too alluring with trading in things, so I did it, which is horrible.
Yeah.
And I just recently, when the pandemic hit, I started recollecting again. Worst time ever to start collecting again.
Oh yeah.
It was horrible. And I started doing the YouTube thing at the same time. I was very camera shy at first, and I'm getting better at it. At least I hope so. If not, well, hopefully you guys will tell me. But I collect for everything right now. I'm big into the flea market. There's some incredible flea markets where I live, where you can still find like everything from NES to new games, for the Switch, PS4, all that. And I've gotten super lucky in finding what I've found and what I've shown on my YouTube channel and as well as Instagram.
Yeah, we got to see some of that in here too, and very impressive.
Yeah, it's pure luck. The lady that I talked to, she doesn't know much English, so I think that's how I get it for pretty cheap. But it's so now I've got everything from the NES to the Switch to PS5, the Xbox Series X. My biggest collection right now. NES is getting there. I'm working on a Nintendo 64 complete collection for North America. I have half for North America and half for Japan, which is pretty exciting. And I only have like 2 3DO games. I do love 3DO with all my heart.
So when you said half for America, half Japan, you're talking N64?
Correct. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm halfway home for both systems.
That's quite of a accomplishment.
Well, thank God to importing the Nintendo 64 for Japan stuff. Because using Syndico, I import just gigantic lots of the games for like pennies a game. It's insane.
Huh. Something new I learned.
Yeah.
Well, that's obviously the way you can still do it.
Apparently.
Basically, you could get away with doing that a couple of years back even by buying just bulk lots of our regular NTSC ones for basically pennies. And now that's not the case anymore. You're lucky if you get a bulk lot, and if it's $3 a game, you're lucky.
And that's Japanese games you're talking about, right? As far as bulk lot.
Yeah.
All right. Go ahead.
Yeah. Other than that, man, that's collection wise and stuff like that. I work in the tech industry for self-driving cars, which is pretty exciting. So every day is pretty wild.
I can imagine. Nice. You're the first guy I ever heard say that you work with self-driving cars.
Yeah, and the scariest thing is when you let go of the wheel and let it do its thing, like a remote control car.
Mm-hmm.
It'll freak you out like there's no tomorrow.
I could imagine.
Yeah, I don't know if I'd really like that. I'd feel real antsy to grab a wheel or stomp on a pedal. Don't drive me.
Sometimes it feels like you're playing like RC Pro-Am.
Well, now that's just cool.
Yeah.
Are you right? That's why I look at it.
That's really cool.
All right. If you had one thing in your collection that you would really, really want, what would it be?
Oh man, that's tough.
Yeah,
that's so tough.
That is always a tough question.
One of my dream systems was a 3DO, the original 3DO. My friend had it as a kid, and I'd always go over his house and buy it. And I ended up getting one at the flea market, the original one. For me now, my like Grail system, I think, would be a Jaguar. I always had a special spot in my heart for a Jaguar. I never was able to get one, even though 90% of the games are not very good. But I've always had that special place in my heart for one, and I can't find one for the life of me.
Well, you're talking to the right people. So, I'm sure one of us will stumble across one.
Yeah, Dan helped me get my second one.
Notice he said second.
I know, man.
What can you say, man? You know, sometimes we splurge a little bit from time to time, and you end up with multiple consoles.
Only Bones can say that.
That's not true. Dan has several. You have multiple consoles.
I have multiple versions of the same console, so yeah.
Hold up.
I was about to throw
Let me-
shade, and then I was
let
like,
me,
no, wait,
let-
no.
Let me.
Yeah,
Let
thanks
me.
for jumping in there. The one and only. He got my back.
Let me
Dan.
rephrase
Got you,
that.
Bones. We a tag team, man.
Let me rephrase that. Bones is the only person I know that has two consoles. One's in the box, and the other one is playable.
I have that.
Okay, that's
within
fair.
360
That's
more.
fair.
So that's good. That's good. I do the same thing. So that's okay.
Okay.
Yeah, see, everybody likes display pieces. Some people collect Hummels. Some people collect, little thimbles. I collect boxed consoles.
How do you compare a thimble to a console?
I gotta try to keep it small.
Oh,
What
man.
if I go to arcade cabinets one day? Look the hell out.
Don't do that. I just started down that rabbit hole. Don't do it.
Yeah. No, we're gonna do it eventually. I think. Well, at least I'm gonna try. But that's not to. That's to eventually probably open up my own arcade. So.
That'd be cool.
Yeah. I'm thinking about it. I'm pondering.
How do you all about that like arcade bar scene? Like, you gotta have a bar in it, and then arcade the rest. I'm in on that.
I don't know what I plan on doing yet, but eventually something might happen.
We've got the parts to put together our own arcade machine, and that's kind of a dream project for my wife and me. But nothing has come of it just yet. We still just have it as parts.
It will happen. It will happen. All right, so I'll pass it off to Bandana. Any questions for Everything
Any
Retro?
question? So I'm a little intrigued because I've never heard anyone express a love for the 3DO. And you hit like on the nostalgia aspect, but like, what do you like playing, and like, what is it about playing on that console that is so great?
So I think for me, man, it's just how shitty it is. Like, I really enjoy shitty games, man.
All right, so then buy
there's
yourself
some bangers on it.
buy yourself a whole bunch of Wii games. That's your shitty games, right?
I mean, that's true. That is true. I did own a Wii at one point, so I feel you. I feel you there. No, man. I don't know. I think it's just how horrible it is. Like I said, and the controller is so ass backwards. It's ridiculous. Like, I don't know, man. I think that's really the reason why I like 3DO so much. Is just it's really horrible.
So what's the best shitty game on there?
Missed. I hate
Missed.
like it's so bad and so hard because it's so laggy, but I love it.
Okay, what's the banger on that console?
Oh, I mean, yeah, you can't go wrong with Street Fighter. That's
Okay.
that's probably the best version of Street Fighter in my opinion.
That's Super Street Fighter 2 Turbo, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Bones, your turn. Tagging in.
Hanging in. All right. Well, what do you think of Doom and Wolfenstein on the 3DO?
So I never had a chance to get either one, and I've been meaning to pick one up, but they are so expensive right now. Just like Street Fighter, they're like the three franchises that are uber expensive for it. That I never got to play either one. I mean, I'm all about both franchises all day long.
What was
but I just
that?
never got a chance.
What was the one they had that was another first-person shooter that was on the 3DO? Forget what the heck it was called. That I wanted to pick it up. It looks pretty shitty. Oh man, yeah, I have to agree with you. It's a novelty thing because I got mine for the whole fact of it had Doom on it, and if it is a console and Doom was made, I want that in my collection. But I honestly drug my feet. That is the last version I picked up because of how bad the version is. I mean, I honestly feel it's better than the 32X.
Is
version.
it worse than 64?
No, I like 64 better than that.
Okay.
It's the control. He's not kidding when he says the controller sucks. When you try to incorporate Doom on the 3DO into the controller, it doesn't play out properly with strafing and shit. No. It does not work properly. So it's not a good port as far as that goes. And it does sometimes lag up a little bit on you, which is also not good. I mean, I don't really use the 3DO or the CDI just for the sole fact that they're novelties. The games do suck on them. So if you're playing them to get a chuckle and a laugh out of pretty much how crappy these games are.
Hey, didn't they cut content too from the Doom for the 3DO?
Yeah, for a lot of them they did. The 32X they cut content out of. The 3DO they cut some content out of. It. I mean, the best version, in my opinion, you're going to get is going to be for the Sega Saturn, or the Doom. But then you got Final Doom on PS1 that's also a better game. But we got straight off the track here from the 3DO. Did you ever play...
I was about to start singing them.
Oh, come on. Hallelujah. I'll tag back out.
Tag in, I'm out.
Go ahead, Dan.
All right. Well, I wanted to contribute to the 3DO talk.
Oh, go ahead. Go
Go
ahead.
ahead. No,
Yeah, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say that it's interesting that you have a fondness for that system, even though how bad it is. And I never owned a 3DO myself until Bones, as I was talking about it, and it made me want to go out and grab one. So I did, and then like you, I don't have too many games. I went on a little streak and tried to buy a lot of games when I first got it, but yeah, the prices got really really high for some of those games, and so I backed off. But so that's cool that that you also are a fellow 3DO fan. But back to your collecting and growing up in the 80s, and you mentioned being an NES collector. But what about even older systems like Atari, Intellivision, Coleco? You seem to know about the Ghostbusters on 2600. Are you a fan of those older consoles as well?
I definitely am. I just never got, like, my fondest memories are NES. Now, I do remember my mother, so how I got introduced to video games was my parents, which was amazing, to grow up with parents that are supportive of video games, even in that era, And we had a 2600, but I just don't remember a lot of it. I do remember playing, like, Pitfall on it, but that's really all I really remember when it comes down to it. NES for me was that first, the most impactful for me, because I remember coming home as a kid, and from school and playing it and stuff like that.
That's cool. And you mentioned you got rid of it at one point, and you had to go back and recollect it. Is there anything that you got rid of that you really regret to this day that you haven't been able to replace, or were you able to go back and pretty much recollect everything that you once had?
So, man, there's a lot of stuff that I wish I still had. A lot of toys, especially toys, but video games for sure. Probably the most thing that I want the most that I don't have currently is a lot of the original 3 Game Boy games for Pokemon. I had Red, Blue, and Yellow. The only one I've been able to pick up is Blue, and I know they're everywhere, but they're just so expensive. To me, it's just like I'm not dropping that kind of money on them,
Yeah. I think all of us have at some point gotten rid of games and haven't been able to replace it. Or what turns me off is that I used to have these games, but now seeing how much they cost, I just say I refuse to pay that much because I used to own this game, and I'm not going to pay just exorbitant amount of money just to have this again.
On the same way, especially for horrible games, like the ones that are really bad, that are like $1,000 now. You're like, why is this $1,000 when this game is atrocious?
I mean, I get it and all, but it's like it'd be different if these prices and you knew, okay, I'm spending this money, and it was almost a guarantee that you'd get your money back out of these items. If you go and spend $1,000 on a game now, there's no guarantees that by another year from now you're going to get that $1,000 you put back into it out if you try to get rid of it. There's no guarantees on it, and to have that, kind of uncertainty is not cool when you're dropping $1,000 on a game, like you said, especially something that's shitty. And there's a lot of crappy third-party games and stuff out there that, my God, people expect a lot of money for.
Agreed. Agreed.
I guess my one more question, my final question is that you mentioned that you are trying to get these Game Boy games. Are you much of a handheld collector or player? Are you into the handhelds at all?
So I am. I love me some handheld. I think that's why I like the Switch is probably right now my favorite console that's out right. New gen, I guess you could call it, because it's got that handheld function. My first handheld was the original Nintendo Game Boy. That brick that was amazing back in the day with no backlight. I still don't understand how I could see that screen to this day.
Yeah, how about it?
But my most nostalgic and my favorite all-time handheld has got to be the Game Gear. I have a soft spot in my heart for Sega as well, and I loved the Game Gear. I just finished modding one with the backlit screen, and I can't put it down. Like it brings back so much memories. Love Tasmania for it. That's probably one of my favorite games for it. But yeah, man, I was definitely handheld. I got out of it when Game Boy SP came out. I got out of the handheld side of it, and then now with Switch, I gotten kind of a little bit back into it.
That's cool. Yeah, that's all I had. Thanks a lot.
Okay.
Oh, you're welcome.
What is your biggest collection?
Oh man, I think if we add the Japanese Nintendo 64 games, it's Nintendo 64. I think I'm almost at 350 Nintendo 64 games. If we don't count the Japanese Nintendo 64 games, the biggest collection I have right now is NES. It just hit 118, and I honestly started out collecting just I'm just gonna get the games I had as a kid, and as we all know, that goes right out the window pretty quickly.
Yes, it does.
Because then you see this, and then you see that, and then you see this, and oh, this is a good
it's
deal. It's only
horrible.
$5.
Yeah, I picked up Dungeons and Dragons last weekend. It was in at the flea market, and I was like, oh man, I love D&D. I'm a huge D&D nerd. And I was like, I don't even know what this game is, but I'm buying it for the box art. And then I paid $10 for it, and I get home and it's worth $75. I was like, oh, didn't know that one.
Yeah. Yeah, there's several of them that are kind of a little iffy in price. It's just nuts.
Are you a complete in box gamer, or are you okay with loose carts?
Oh man, as much as I would love to be complete in box, the only one I'm really kind of OCD about collecting complete in box is Sega Genesis. I love the plastic holders for them, and I think they look absolutely gorgeous on the shelf. And if I can pick up complete in box on other systems, I will for sure. Disc-based games for sure has got to be complete in box. I hate loose discs with all of my heart.
Yeah. Well, do you flip your doubles that you get then when you buy the big bulk lots?
No, I actually. So I'm one of those kind of. I love giving away stuff. I actually corrupted my friend that I work with, and he now is starting to collect again. So I give him a lot of my doubles. Just hey man, I got this. Here you go.
You sound like somebody I know. Well, two somebodies I know that are in here. Maybe even three.
Yeah, I'm up for a trade, or I just send them out. I'm like, hey, you want some games? Here you go. Send me your price charting so I know they're not doubles. And if they're not doubles, I'm sending them to you.
Yeah, we're the same way. We tend to give all my doubles away. I don't ever keep my doubles. Same exact thing. I don't see the point in I know why people flip, but to me it's I'd rather see somebody get enjoyment out of it and not have to worry about paying for it. So
I 100% agree with you, man. 100%.
Do you have any Virtual Boy games, or do you have the Virtual Boy?
Oh, that's on my bucket list to pick up. I remember seeing it as a kid in Toys R Us, and always wanting it, and I was like, then I remember putting my eyes up to it, and the red just blinding me because of how horrible it is. I've always been on the lookout for one. I have never found one. I've never seen one in the wild. And to be honest with you, the only time I've seen one in person is back whenever I was a kid at Toys R Us. I haven't seen one since. It's definitely on that list. Just even not even playing it, just to kind of display it because I
Just
think
to
it looks
have
awesome.
it. Yeah, it does.
It's a great console. It is a very underappreciated console, and the sprite art. Oh my gosh, that's something I've been drooling over lately. Is the sprite art on the Virtual Boy?
See, now you're making me gotta go find one now.
Well, we're gonna have a podcast on that, but we gotta sit with Dan here, and we're gonna use his Virtual Boy so that me and Chris can give our honest opinion on it.
Yeah.
All right, I'll get one. I'll get one before then.
Where do you live, or what region of the country are you in?
So I'm originally from Pittsburgh.
Oh.
Yo, go Pens, go Pens.
Hey, me too.
All right, yeah. But I currently live in Miami. My job took me to Miami, so I live in Miami in the tropical, hot as hell environment and hurricanes.
How do self-driving cars do in hurricanes? Just
They don't like it. They don't like it. They can handle rain to a point, and when it gets like hurricane conditions where it's pretty crazy, they stop and say, "Hey, I need you to take over this vehicle because I don't know what to do." And I say, "Okay, sounds good."
At least they tell you. At least they stop and tell you that. I mean,
Yeah.
Could be a lot worse.
Safety stuff. There's so many safety stuff that's built into our our software and hardware and stuff. Like the cars couldn't do anything dumb even if they tried. Like it's pretty impressive. It's pretty impressive.
Nice. So do you have? Go ahead.
Can the car beat Punch Out? Is what I want to know.
Cool. I don't think he can get. I think Mike Tyson will knock him out. To be honest with you, like.
Man, go ahead.
Does working on self-driving cars, are you a fan of driving video games? Like, are you a Mario Kart fan or anything else?
Oh, for sure. Yeah, for sure. Outrun still one of my favorite. Love the man. What was it? It was RC Pro-Am, of course. I love like flying games too. Like flight simulators, stuff like anything that's like driving. I'm in on.
Bandana, did you have something to
collect
say?
steering wheels?
I'm sorry. What was that?
Go ahead, Chris.
I was asking Bandana, did you have something to say?
Oh, Bandana just had a throwaway comment when he said that these cars couldn't do something stupid if they tried. I'm like, oh, so I can do something better than a smart car. Awesome. 'Cause I can do something dumb really easily.
Oh, you definitely could. No, you could. It's all right.
I saw you. I heard.
It made me forget my statement.
I heard you. I heard you like start to speak, and I was like, "Oh man, they keep cutting you off."
No worries. So I'll ask Bones this question: do you collect steering wheels?
Hey, there you go. Way to go, Bandana, man.
Tag team, man. Tag
Yeah,
team.
you are really tag team.
This is the Bones gamer.
Did you hear that question? Everything retro?
What? All I heard was
You
does Bones
collect steering
steering
wheels.
Oh no, I do not collect steering wheels.
There you go.
That is like they take up too much space, man. I don't have enough space down here.
All right. So,
Yeah.
do you have any questions for us?
Oh man, off the top of my head, no.
That's cool.
Honestly, like I love what you guys are doing with this stuff. It's really cool. I feel blessed to be part of what you guys are, this podcast and talk with all of you guys. It's been really fun, really really cool.
Yeah, we appreciate you coming on. It's always a good time.
Yeah, man, had a
some-
great time. So,
I just timed this so poorly. As someone who programs cars, what is the top 3 driving games for you? What are your top 3 favorite driving games off the
man.
top of your head?
Yo, you're killing me right now. All right, so I'm going with like. Do you remember those games? You remember that driving game? And it's horrible. It's really atrocious. But do you remember that they came out with a PC, and it would like taught you how to drive, but you could gun it. You could like run over things. It was crazy.
Like a simulator?
no.
Yeah. It was almost like a simulator. It taught you how to drive. Like that's my number 1. It's really horrible. Number 2, got to be Carmageddon, but like the PC version where you could actually like go crazy. Because the other 2 ports are atrocious. And 3, Outrun, man. Outrun's amazing. Every time I see it in arcade, I still go over and play it every time. I want to get the One-Up Arcade, but it's too expensive.
Dan could talk to you about the One Up Arcade of that.
Yeah, no, I agree. I mean, Outrun is definitely a game that you definitely want to use the steering wheel for, and it just doesn't cut it with the controller. I know it came out for the Genesis and a couple other systems, but when the Arcade One Up came out with a steering wheel, I was like, I gotta have that. So yeah, that was definitely one of the cabinets that I have, and it's awesome.
Did you mod it?
Not really. I saw people doing that, but and I have the sit-down version, which is like really tiny. I wish I would have gotten the stand-up version. So I'm thinking about modding it and converting it to a stand-up model, maybe.
That's awesome. That's awesome. I've got the Mortal Kombat One-Up, the original, and then I have the X-Men vs Street Fighter, but I modded that one, and the Star Wars Pinball.
Oh, nice.
Do you like doing a lot of modding?
I do. I just got into it actually during the pandemic, and thanks to YouTube, I like started seeing people modding like Nacho Games, him modding like Game Boy Advances and stuff like that. I was like, yeah, I could do this stuff. So I started doing it, and I modded, like, I got an Orange Spice GameCube, and now it's region free. So I modded that. I modded a Game Boy Advanced, and then I've done a Game Boy Color. I've modded the Game Gear. All of my N64s are region free. My Super Nintendo is region free, and my Dreamcast is 100% from top to bottom, complete mod done.
Wow, awesome.
Yeah, I went a little nuts.
Yeah, I'd say so.
So, you guys have any other questions for him? Dan, Bones,
No.
Bandana?
I think I'm good.
No? Any other
I think
questions?
I'm good.
Any other questions for us?
Nah,
Okay.
I got nothing, guys.
No problem. It was just, if you had anything. So we'll do the last segment, game of the month. Dan, what's your game of the month?
My game of the month. I haven't really played anything this month. I've been a little busy, but I did turn on. We're talking about arcade one-ups. I did turn on my Street Fighter cabinet today, and I played Super Street Fighter 2 Turbo, and we were talking about 3DO Street Fighter earlier. So yeah, that's my game of the day mainly. 'Cause that's what I played today.
Okay, Bones, what's yours?
Oh man. Well, I'm gonna name the Flintstones for the Master System. For all that is holy, do not play that game.
Bandana?
I think I'm gonna go with Jay and Silent Bob's Mall Brawl for the NES.
Oh, you have that?
Yeah, he
I
just got
looked
it.
that up. Just
Dude,
got
that's
it.
awesome.
Very nice.
I looked at getting that, and I was just like, no, I'm not biting the bullet.
I was able to pull it together in a big trade, and I was like, got the collector's edition, and I'm just like, I'm cool with this.
Did
And
you-
I-
Did you open and play it, or did you?
Oh yeah.
Okay. How is it?
It's actually really good. Graphics are really good. Like, they knew how to play for a program for the NES. It's
Cool.
I've had a lot of fun with it. It feels really good.
Cool.
But when are you selling it?
When things start turning Mad Max, we'll see how much gas I need for the tank, and we'll see what trades I need to make.
Everything retro, game of the month.
I've got two,
Go
guys,
ahead.
and I've been spending time with both of them a lot. And the one's for the Switch, and that's Waifu Uncovered. Love it.
I played that. That's
Great,
pretty cool. Yeah, I played that.
great import, especially when you unlock everything at the end. And old school system wise, honestly, football season's upon us, so I've been busting out and rocking some Mutant League football like there's no tomorrow.
Nice. That's one game. That's one game I want to get that I don't have yet.
One quick question. I just thought of something.
Go ahead. Go ahead, Dan.
Do you go to conventions or shows?
So I really want to, like, that's what I want to start doing this coming year, and even end of the year. Unfortunately, there's nothing really in South Florida. It's not really big here, the retro or even really gaming community. Up north it is. So hopefully soon I can get up and get up north or even west or east to go to some conventions for sure. I want to, but I haven't been able to.
Yeah, definitely. If you ever go to too many games in this area, let us know, and you'll get in on some. We'll do the Virtual Boy testing.
I like it. I like it.
And my game of the month, we'll go with Ghostbusters, since it was all about Ghostbusters this podcast. So that concludes the podcast. Thank you, Everything Retro, for being a guest.
Appreciate it very much.
Thank you to the normal guys, plus Bandana.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yep.
Please like, comment, and subscribe. And as always, don't blow, just sleeve. Later.
Peace out.
Peace.
See ya.
See you later.